I teach group classes on Zoom all the time, and everybody's camera is on. Nobody really looks at each other. It's just a good way for me to keep my eye on you occasionally. So please feel free to turn your camera on. And also, I don't have any issues really. If you wanted to unmute yourself and ask a question, that's totally fine if that's easier than putting it in the chat. So, you know, if you have the capability and you can unmute yourself, please feel free to do that. I don't mind a little noise at all. So we're going to begin today. Actually, I'll ask you guys, you can unmute yourself if you have an answer, but if there is anybody who has any kind of particular issue that they want to deal with, you know, if somebody's having, I don't know, lower back problems, or your neck's really bothering you, oh my gosh, my knee is killing me. So if there's anything in particular that you want to call out, you know, believe me, when there are only so many parts to our body. If you said that your lower back hurts, I'm sure that, you know, there's a lot of people who would benefit from a little extra lower back work. So if there's anything that you want to, you know, say like, hello, can you pay a little special attention to my, you know, my hip today, I would be happy to incorporate that. So feel free to unmute yourself and shout that out if you would like to. Otherwise, neck fatigue, okay. Neck. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm actually going to have you start seated. And usually, my name is Dianne. Did they say that? I think so. Yes, some of you I don't recognize, but my name is Dianne, and I will be guiding you through your practice today. Most of the work that I do tends to be, I'd say, a little strength-based, right? I don't think anybody, maybe now with COVID, I don't know, but usually, we don't have enough time to, do our strength work and then our yoga, right? So let's try to get it all done at the same time. But I do like to take a little bit of time to center ourselves. I do like to take a little bit of time to do some breath work. And I always like to try to give you a little bit of a shavasana at the end. I hope not to cut you too short on that one. So I will invite you now to close your eyes and sit in whatever a comfortable, upright, seated position means to you. And with your eyes closed, place your hands on your knees, and you can gently press your hands into your knees, and you might notice how that helps to assist you in lifting up through your spine, your side ribs, lift up out of your hips. Notice what this does to the positioning of your chest. And then take a big breath in, hold your shoulders up toward your ears. And as you exhale, release your shoulders onto your back. And as you sit in this upright position, you might notice that it takes a little effort to be upright, which it in fact does, right? Your musculature supports your spine, supports your posture. So hopefully you feel a little engagement in your abdominal muscles. Maybe you feel a little work in the multifidus muscles running up, supporting your spine. And then bring your attention to your inhale and then to your exhale. We're going to try to start our practice with a little breath control. We're going to try to make our inhale and our exhale the same length. So at first, we're going to do a couple of rounds of inhaling and exhaling to a count of 3 Mississippi. So let all the breath out of your body, and then inhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and exhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Again, inhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and exhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Release your breath for a moment. Now we're going to jump and go to 5. So let all the breath out of your body and begin to inhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, exhale, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, inhale, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and exhale, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. And then release your breath again. And so you don't have to listen to me count. We're going to go to 7, but I'm going to ask you to count to yourself. We're going to do 2 rounds of inhaling and exhaling to a count of 7, but you'll be counting on your own silently. So let all the breath out of your body and begin. And when you're done, release your breath. Pause and examine how that felt for you. Were you nervous that I was going to ask you to go to 9? Was it easy for you to count your breath as you were inhaling and count your breath as you were exhaling? Did that help your level of concentration and focus? If I said, pay attention to your inhale and your exhale, would your mind have wandered away more easily without the counting? Or perhaps the counting is annoying to you and you wish you didn't have to do it. So these are all just things to explore. Pranayama or breath control is one of the 8 limbs of yoga. Breath control is one, movement is only one. So we're going to be doing our movement shortly. I just want you to sit for another moment or two, observing if anything shifted from an emotional perspective, from a thought perspective, from a feeling perspective, after spending some time controlling your breath. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Let your thumbs rest on your chest. And then let your chin drop down toward your chest. So if you're having any neck issues, you might feel something in the back of your neck right now. Hopefully you feel yourself creating a little space in between each vertebrae. Maybe you can even tuck your chin closer to that notch at the base of your throat. And then you're going to open your eyes. Follow your hands with your gaze. Raise your arms up over your head. Now you're lifting your chin, dropping your head back. What does that do to your neck? And then look forward. Let your arms come to your side. Take your left hand, place it on your head, and gently guide your left ear toward your left shoulder. So we're stretching the whole right side of your neck. And then to deepen that stretch a little bit, as you inhale, stretch that right arm out. And as you exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in, and then lift your head and switch. Hold on to your head, gently guide it down, right? So you're not tugging, you're just guiding it down closer to your ear. I'm going to pause and just see how things feel on the left side of your neck. And then inhale, stretch that left arm out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. One more time. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring it in. Lift your head up. Hold on to your opposite elbows. So notice if you're starting to slump down a little bit, you have to sit yourself back up nice and tall. Make your I Dream of Jeannie arms and bring both of those elbows over to the right. Turn your head to the left. And then everything comes back to center. And now your elbows go over to the left. Your head turns to the right. Everything comes back to center. Sweep your arms up over your head. Stretch up as high as you can. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Once you've reached as high as you think you can, take a big breath in, reach up even higher. And then palms forward as you exhale, fold forward, release your hands, your head, your heart, everything comes down. So you're continuing to explore without making up some judgmental story about what's happening, right? You're just like, what does this feel like in my low back as I creep my fingers out a little further? What happens if I really relax my head a little bit more? Leaving your arms stretched out, spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, lift your arms back up. That's just a little bit of core work. And then inhale, come down. And exhale, lift back up. And one more time. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift back up. And bring your elbows down to your side. So as your elbows come down, your arms look like, you know, a capital letter W or maybe cactus arms, some people call it. Bring your attention to the area between your shoulder blades. And maybe you feel like you're squeezing a lemon between your shoulder blades. Or maybe you're drawing your shoulder blades together so much that you feel like you're cracking a walnut or holding a pencil. And then begin to bring your elbows together first, and then your forearms come together. This is a nice upper back stretch. Lift your elbows up. See if you can keep those elbows together. And then lower your elbows down. Lift your elbows up. Lower your elbows down. And then open them up again. Squeeze that lemon. And then reach both of your arms up as high as you can. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Reach with one arm and then reach with the other. Stretching from side to side. Keep reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching. And then you're going to interlace your fingers and bring your palms forward. Tuck your chin. Pull your belly in and press your palms away from you. This is a big upper back and neck stretch. Inhale, lift your arms up. And as you exhale, press those palms forward, tuck your chin, pull in your belly. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press those hands forward. And then release your hands behind you. Fingers are pointing forward. You're going to draw your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, lift your belly, look up, big breath in. As you exhale, your hips lift, your knees drop. So are you stretching your hip flexors here? Absolutely. Strengthening your arms, you bet. But I want you to try to think about relaxing your head back. Think about that head, your neck, your shoulders. And then release your hips back down. Roll your right shoulder back. Roll your left shoulder back. Roll your right shoulder forward. Roll your left shoulder forward. Both shoulders back. Both shoulders forward. Both shoulders back. Excellent. Switch the cross of your legs. And then once again, you're going to bring your shoulder blades together. Lift your belly, your ribs, your chest. Look up. Let that head try to become relaxed. unless this is painful for your neck. Then you look straight ahead. Lift your hips, drop your knees. And then release your hips, sit back down. Take 2 fingers and place them on your chin. You're going to stick your chin out, and then you're going to tuck it back. And then stick it out and tuck it back. Stick it out and tuck it back. One more time. Stick it out, tuck it back, leave it there, release your hand. So this is where your head belongs. Your head belongs resting on your neck, not pulling on your neck. So think of how many hours you spend with your head sticking out, your shoulders rounded down, you're always over your computer keyboard, you're always on your phone. It's no wonder everybody has neck and head and shoulder problems. So you want to always keep those shoulders relaxed, that chin tucked in. You're going to try to maintain this position with your head and your neck when we come to do some standing postures. So just get a felt sense of what this feels like to maintain your body in a place of alignment. And then bring your arms up. And you're going to rock yourself onto your hands and knees. So as I always like to say, do whatever you can. I'm kind of in the sun here, so I'm going to try to switch my positioning there. Begin to drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, tuck your belly button, round your back, tuck your tailbone and your chin. Stay here for a moment. Pay a little extra attention to bringing that chin in toward your chest. And then again, drop your belly button. Tailbone raises, look up. And as you exhale, tuck and round. Bring yourself to a neutral spine. Curl your toes, leading with your tailbone. Start to lift your hips, lift your hips, lift your hips. Straighten your legs and drop your heels. Paying attention a little bit more to our neck. See, so aren't you happy somebody mentioned neck? Start to nod your head, yes. Shake your head, no. But this is just a good way to show you that if you have something that you need a little attention, let me know. And again, nod your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then come to a still point. Adding a little bit of balance work right from the get-go here. Take your left hand, tap your right knee, and release. Right hand taps your left knee, and release. Left hand, right knee, release. Right hand, left knee, release. Come up onto your tippy toes, rock yourself forward to plank. In your plank pose, lift up your right foot just an inch or two, hold it, and release. Lift up your left foot just an inch or two, hold it, and release. Extend your right arm, and release. Extend your left arm, and release. And then take a big breath in. As you exhale, lift your right foot and your left arm. And release. Lift your left foot and your right arm. And release. Come down onto your knees. Sink your hips to your heels. Paying attention to your shoulders. Roll your palms upward. Let your shoulders completely relax. And think about trying to get your hips toward your heels. So this is a relaxing child's pose, right? Child's pose always available as a resting pose, but sometimes I tell you that I want you to make it an active stretching pose. Now is not that time. I'd like you to really just have your shoulders completely easeful. And then slide your arms out in front of you again. Look to your fingers. Make sure those fingers are spread nice and wide. Come to all fours. Curl your toes. Once again, leading with your tailbone. Those hips come up nice and high. You're in your down dog. Come up onto your tippy toes. Bend your right knee. Left heel stretches down. Back to those tippy toes. Bend your left knee. Right heel comes down.
Back to your tippy toes, both of your heels stretch down. And now adding a little bit balance work again, you're going to take that right arm, lift it up into the air, try to turn and look toward that right hand. And then imagining that you're threading a needle, you're going to take that right hand, you're going to sweep it underneath your left armpit. And then inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, sweep it back down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, lift it up. Look to the hand, challenge your balance. And then that right hand comes down. Right away, that left arm lifts up, look to it. And sweep it under that right arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale, lift up, look up. And as you exhale, bring that left hand down. Walk your feet toward your hands. Hands to your feet. Meet in the middle of your mat. Bend your knees. Let your head relax. Let your shoulders relax. So this is a great stretch for your whole spine, but especially your lumbar spine, your low back. Leaving your knees bent nice and deeply. Begin to drop your hips even more. Lift your head, lift your chest, lift your arms. You're in Uttanasana chair pose. So we're going to stay here in our chair pose for a couple of breaths. And then you're going to bring your arms out to the side. Imagine that you're twisting just from your waist. Try to turn to the right, look toward your right shoulder, and come back to center. And then twist to the left, look toward your left shoulder, and back to center. Bring your hands to your heart center. Shift your weight into your right leg. Lift up your left knee. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, sit down. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit. Inhale, stand. Stay here. As you exhale, bring those arms back out to the side. See if you can twist again to the right. And center. And left. And center. Hands come together, foot comes to the ground, sink back down in your chair nice and low. And then shift your weight into your left leg, lift your right knee. Pressing into that left heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, stay here. Arms come out to the side. Twist to the right. Look over your right shoulder. And back to center. Twist to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Back to center. Release your foot down. Bring your arms over your head. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right leg back into a lunge. And in your lunge, you always want to make sure that that front leg is at a 45-degree angle, right? That foot's not back too far. You want it nice and far forward. Leaving your right hand on the mat. Again, sweep your left arm up into the air. Look to your hand. Release your left hand down. And then you're going to try to bring both of your hands to your thighs, steady yourself. Hands come to your heart center. Tap that right knee and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Stay here.
So this left thigh is fired up. You're gonna press into that left heel. You're gonna step your feet together, stand up, sweep your arms over your head. Big breath in, exhale, fold forward. And then you're going to step your left leg back into a lunge, right? You make sure that that right leg's at a right angle. Right hand stays on the floor. Sweep your left arm up into the air. Release your hand down. Press into that right foot. Bring your hands onto your thigh at first to steady yourself. Then your hands can come to your heart center, and you're going to tap and lift. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Stay here. So your back heel's pressing back. This back leg is straight. This right thigh's fired up. You press into that right foot, step your feet together, sweep your arms up over your head, palms forward, exhale, fold forward again. Bend your knees, walk or jump yourself to plank. Tap your right knee and lift, left knee and lift. Tap both knees and lift. Again, tap right and lift, left and lift. Tap both knees and lift, hold it. Roll yourself to the outer edge of your right foot. Lift your left arm up into the air. And now, just like we did before, see if you can take that left hand, sweep it underneath your right armpit, and lift it back up. And sweep it under, nice twist, bring it back up. Sweep it under, twist, bring it back up. And then your left hand comes down. Right away, you roll yourself to the outer edge of your left foot. Right arm comes up into the air. Sweep your arm under and lift. Sweep, nice twist in those ribs and lift. Sweep it under and lift. Look up to your hand for a moment, and then your hand comes back to the mat, knees to the floor, hips to your heels. Once again, arms behind you, relax your shoulders. Bring your arms in front of you. Walk both of your hands to the right side of your mat and take your left hand, put it on top of your right hand. And I want you to creep those left fingers further forward if you can and get a great sense of stretching through that left side of your body. Breathing as if you're trying to create space in between each one of those left ribs. And then walk your hands back to the left side of your mat, and your right hand comes on top of your left. And you're going to creep those right fingers a little bit further forward, and you're going to breathe deeply into that right side of your body. Arms come back to center. Come to all fours. Curl your toes, leading with that tailbone. Up you go. You're in down dog. Once again, nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Let's not forget about our neck work here. Just let that head be really heavy. Think about your head and chest kind of floating closer to your mat with every breath that leaves your body. Come up onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, walk or jump your feet to your hands. And then you're going to bring your hands to your shins. You're going to start to straighten your legs. Roll your shoulders back. Stretch your tailbone to the wall behind you. Draw your chest forward. And then release yourself down.
So now you're in a forward bend, your legs are straightish. And if your fingertips come to the floor, great. If not, don't worry about it. You're gonna bend your right knee and sweep that left arm up into the air. So we're adding a twist to a forward bend while we bend one knee and deepen the stretch in the hamstring. There's a lot happening here. Release your left hand down. Straighten your right knee, bend your left knee. Sweep your right arm up into the air, turn and look to your right hand. Release your hand down. Straighten both of your legs, bring your hands to your shins, look forward. And then keeping your back straight, pull your belly in, lift yourself up to stand. Once you come to stand, roll your shoulders back, and then right away, you're gonna bring your hands to your heart center. You're gonna come back down into your chair pose. But you're gonna pick up now your right leg, or your left leg, I'm sorry, and lift it up, and then cross it over your right. So your knees are crossed. And maybe you try to take those left toes and bring them behind your right calf. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You just leave your knees crossed, who cares? And then your arms come out to the side. You wiggle the fingers of your left hand so you know which it is. You take your left elbow, you bring it under your right. Bend your elbows, palms come together. We're in Garudasana, eagle. If you can, raise your elbows up. Big upper back stretch. And then lower your elbows down. Maybe you tap your knee. Lift yourself back up, elbows rise. Elbows lower, you tap your knee. Lift yourself up, hold it. Uncross your legs, uncross your arms, sweep your arms over your head, big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward. And just stay in your forward bend with your arms dangling. And maybe you stir, you imagine you have those spoons in your hand, you're stirring that huge pot of soup. And then you reverse it, you go around the other way. You let those arms slow down. You relax your head. You let gravity wash over your body. And then you bend your knees. Your hands start at your heart center. You shift your weight into your left leg. You lift that right knee. You cross it over, toes behind your calf, maybe. Maybe not. Arms come out to your side. You take your right hand, bring it under your left, cross your elbows, palms together. And then you try to raise those elbows up. Bring those elbows down, tap your knee. And then lift yourself up, elbows raise. Lower your elbows, tap your knee. Lift yourself up, good. Uncross your legs, uncross your arms, sweep your arms up, big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward, let those arms swing back and forth now. And maybe your whole body sways back and forth with it. Allow your fingertips to come to your mat. And you're going to walk yourself back to a plank pose. And before we come down onto the floor, we're going to one last time lift that right foot, hold it, and release. Lift your left foot, hold it, and release. Extend your right arm, hold it, and release. Extend your left arm, hold it, and release. Left leg, right arm, and release. Right leg, left arm, and release. Knees to the mat.
Flop yourself down, swing your legs in front of you. I'm gonna move this so that it's not too sunny. Better or worse, I can't tell. Hold on behind your thighs. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, lean back a little bit. So I want you to lean back enough that you can start to feel your core muscles engage. Lift up your left knee, lift up your right knee. Extend your left arm, extend your right arm. Try to stay here for 3 breaths. Hold on behind your thighs, bring yourself a little closer together. Straighten your right leg, straighten your left leg. Release your right arm, release your left arm, 3 breaths. Hands to your thighs, bend your knees, point your feet, your toes toward your face, extend your arms, press your right foot forward, bring it back in, left foot forward, bring it back in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, one more time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Hold on behind your thighs, bring yourself close together, and then plop your feet on the floor. Hold on to your hands and lean back. So that was Ardha Navasana with some movement. That's not easy, I know. So as you're leaning back, I hope that you have some sensation of feeling in your upper back, between your shoulders. If you don't, maybe you lean back a little bit more and you're not really holding onto your knees. You're kind of crossing your fingers and letting them rest on your knees, almost so that it feels a little dangerous, right? Like if your fingers unlaced, you'd go crashing down, because that way I know that you're leaning back enough to get a good stretch in your upper back and shoulders. And then lift yourself back up. Lift up your left leg, lift up your right leg, bring the soles of your feet together. Hold the outer edges of your feet. And then extend one leg, extend the other. Try to stay here looking forward if you can. Bend one knee, bend the other. Bring the soles of your feet together. Arms come straight out. And then leaving your legs at this 45-degree angle, see if you can slowly lower yourself down. And then bring your arms out to the side. Let both of your knees fall halfway to the right. Your head turns to the left. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, your knees come halfway to the left. Your head turns to the right. And back to center. Place your feet on the floor. Bring your arms to your side. Pressing your feet into the floor, lift your hips, lower back, middle back, and upper back. And then clasp your hands together underneath you. Shimmy your shoulders a little bit so that they're underneath your back. And your arms are straight, right? So you're from your shoulder to your wrist, you're in a straight line. Your hands are intertwined with your knuckles facing your heels. This is a nice big chest opener, which also means it's a little shoulder work. Release your hands. Slowly lower your upper back and pause. Then your middle back comes to the mat and you pause. Then your lower back comes to the mat. Then your butt touches the floor. And then your knees come back into your chest, arms out to the side. This time your legs are going to fall all the way down to the right, your head turns to the left. So we did some twisting when you were in a one-legged chair pose, Ekapada Uttanasana with a twist. This is a little bit less challenging from a balance perspective. So you might want to focus on deepening the twist a little bit since you feel safe on the floor. Hopefully you feel safe on the floor. And you can take your right hand, put it on top of your left knee or thigh. And see if you can take that left knee and just kind of bring it a little bit closer in toward your chest. So that's going to help you to stretch your glute a little bit more. If you're feeling tension in your left shoulder, you can let your left hand rest on your ribs. And then bring your arms back out to the side, trying to keep those thighs cemented together. Lift them back to center, and then both of those knees fall all the way down to the left. Your head turns to the right. And again, you can hold on to that right knee and try to move it a little bit further up. And then release your hand, thighs stay glued together. Nice big breath in, bring them back to center. And as you exhale, your legs come up into the air, toes to your face. You're pressing your heels to the ceiling. Huge stretch from your ankle all the way to the very top of your hamstring. Big breath in. Exhale, lift your fingers toward your toes. Lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Lift your butt up a little bit. Hold it for 5 breaths. Release your butt, release your head, relax your shoulders. Try to leave your arms up in the air with your palms facing each other. If you can, you're going to try to lower both of your legs slowly down to the floor. If that starts to bother your back, you do one leg at a time. So slowly, 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 those legs come down. Fingertips still pointing to the ceiling. You're going to start to reach your arms up, right? You look like a zombie or like the March of the Wooden Soldiers or something. You keep reaching those arms up so your shoulders are off of your mat. Keep stretching, stretching, stretching. Another big release for that area right behind the base of your neck, or the base of your skull, across your upper shoulders. Reach as high as you can. Take a big breath in, hold this breath. And then exhale, drop your shoulders. Let your arms come down to your side. Palms facing upward. Allow your feet to flop out to the side. Your knees open. Maybe there's a little external rotation in that hip joint. And you're going to try, if you can, to bring your attention back to whichever number felt most comfortable when we're doing our pranayama or our breath control at the beginning of our practice. So maybe by the time we're inhaling and exhaling to 7, you were starting to feel like you were going to hyperventilate. Maybe at 3, you felt like, oh, I'm not even getting enough air. So you can fool around with it a little bit, but try to settle on a number that feels safe, that feels restorative, and use the tool of silently counting to allow your inhale and your exhale to be balanced. Slowly begin to travel through whatever motions your body needs to travel through to come back to a seated position. Then bring your hands back to your heart center. Once again, as you inhale, bring your shoulders up toward your ears. Hold them there for a moment. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders down. Take a moment, as always, to express gratitude, express thanks toward yourself for not only making the commitment to come to your mat, but for actually doing it. And then also express gratitude for your breath. Your breath, which helps to focus your awareness, balance your energies, and steady your emotions. So see if you can take a little bit of this gratitude for your breath, a little bit of this awareness for your breath, and carry it with you when you leave your mat and return to your world. Take one more nice big full breath in. And as you exhale any thought that doesn't serve you, fold forward. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me.